Before we get into today's conversation, I want to take a few minutes just to talk to those of you that have been with me from my microlock journey. First, I want to say thank you. Hair has always been and always will be a part of my journey, and my microlocks are my crown. They just were never the whole story. Over this last year, as I've grown and as I've evolved, I've realized that what I truly enjoy sharing is perspective. How we think, how we move, how we show up, and how we grow into the best versions of ourselves intentionally. So, this channel is shifting from my microlock journey to conversations with purpose about life, mindset, culture, style, and the standards that we live by. If you've been evolving, then stick around. You're in the right place. Happy New Year! And welcome to our very first conversation here on Measure Discretion with me, Alexis Ambitious. And today I want to have a conversation about female standards being at an all-time low. I know what you might be thinking, but no, I'm not talking about women's worth or attacking ladies at all. I'm sharing perspective based on my observations of current societal conditions that I feel like have been affected by these standards. That being said, let's get right into it. When I say female standards are at an all-time low, I'm talking about collectively. I'm looking at what's being accepted from men and society, what's earning access to our bodies and our homes, and what's the new requirements for commitment. One of the biggest things I've been seeing has been easier access. Way too much, way too soon. Because requirements to gain access got slim in terms of accountability, responsibilities, and expectations for relationship interactions. And for me, when access is granted without standards, that just tells people that effort is optional, replacement is easy, and commitment can wait. When access got this easy for men, accountability vanished. Unless you're dealing with a man that holds himself to a higher standard, yes, they do exist. And obviously, all women don't operate like this, but there are enough women who do to impact those of us who have higher standards. And this overall impact puts strain on multiple different areas that I don't think we consider when we make individual choices. I think we can safely say that individual choices can definitely affect more than just the individual in many cases. And this particular topic is a perfect example of that. Not to mention, we're seeing the effects that lower standards have caused in our current climates. I feel like when access got easier, it birthed the side chick, pick me, independent women culture. Like, women started accepting hidden roles on a larger scale, sharing men became normalized, and exclusivity is seen as unrealistic. And men did adapt accordingly. Sadly, it just wasn't in favor of what women need. Because truthfully, men don't define standards in relationships when it comes to access, acceptance, and requirements. They can only respond to the bar that we set for us that ultimately protects us and gets us what we actually want. But when female standards are inconsistent and the bar is ATG, anything goes, men responded with infidelity in relationships being normalized as that's just what men do. When no, men do what women allow. People only treat you how you let them. Remember, I said that too. I'm definitely not shaming women in any of these roles. I'm just acknowledging that lower standards don't solve our issues, they actually perpetuate them. It even seems like that women may be using sex as a way to feel chosen and desired and even valuable. And when sex becomes a strategy, it almost always fails. When you add easy access plus low or no requirements, it equates to low or no standards in relationships, in family settings, and in communities. It's a domino effect. So let's fast forward to what could be causing men to be less faithful now than ever. Everybody knows most men want sex fast as they can get it. And the faster they can get it, the easier it is for them to cut ties and detach. And that's basically because options multiply when access eased, Consequences dropped when requirements disappeared, and standards became so inconsistent as a whole that men just took full advantage of it. Being faithful is something that thrives when access is earned, when respect is required, and when replacement is not guaranteed. But it gets deeper than that. That's why this conversation got to be three parts. We're going to dig deeper into this topic and consider the origins of this error. Some of the most expensive costs of lower female standards is the stability of families, current marriage rates versus divorce rates, children's health and security, emotional health, and community trust. Community is so much bigger than we think. But anyway, society really does end up absorbing the effects that are caused by lower standards. Like I said before, this is not an attack on women. It's an observation, a surface level observation. Not a call to go backwards, not to shame women or police sexuality. It's a call to recenter worth, restore boundaries, and learn discernment. We have to separate what frees us from what causes self abandonment. Now, it's obvious that male and female roles have shifted, and in all honesty, society is not responding well to those shifts. We're witnessing major changes in the way we conduct relationship dynamics, family values, and community engagement. For every cause, there's definitely an effect. The bigger picture here is that low female standards are not just an opinion, they're a part of our current reality. Lower standards are causing multiple issues in multiple places of daily life that can't be considered individual issues because these issues are society issues, cultural issues, and issues that are getting worse the longer we ignore them and continue to point the finger. These problems can't be solved individually because they wasn't created individually. They have to be navigated collectively. But that's just a piece of it. So make sure you tune in to part 2 next Friday, where we'll examine the layers of having standards and unpack just how we got here. If this video resonated with you, be sure to hit subscribe and stick around for our next conversation.